Failure is brutal. It hits you in the gut, ruins your plans, makes you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. Every founder, every leader, every investor here has felt that sting. That moment when the world seems to laugh at your efforts, when your ideas collapse, or when people you counted on turn away. It's not just a setback, it's a punch to your identity. The worst part? Everyone talks about embracing failure like it's some neat little step on a checklist. Screw that. Failure isn't neat. It's raw, messy, and it burns. And if you don't grab it by the throat fast, it'll drag you into quicksand. So how do you stop failure from killing your fire? First, stop trying to process failure like it's data for some report. That's weak. You need to use it. You need to turn it sideways and squeeze every last drop of brutal insight from it before it rots your confidence. Right after it hits, when your brain is spinning with frustration, anger, shame, grab a blank sheet or open a clean doc and write down exactly what happened. No excuses, no filters. Detail the failure in the simplest terms possible. Don't soften it. You want that truth naked on the page because that's your weapon. Now here's the thing. No one tells you. The faster you do this, the sharper your recovery. Waiting even a day to analyze your failure cools off your brain's emotional edge. And emotion is what cuts deep and shows you what really went wrong. Use that edge before your mind tricks you into lying to yourself. Be ruthless. Ask yourself what you did wrong, what you assumed that wasn't true, and which part of your strategy was a complete mess. And no, blaming others doesn't count. You're not looking for allies here. You're gathering facts. Once you have this brutal map of what failed, you turn it into your checklist for what not to do again. But don't stop there. The most dangerous trap is thinking you understand your failure. You don't, not fully. So after writing down every screw-up, dump it on someone you trust, someone who will call you out, who won't bow to your ego, and get their honest take. Their perspective is the clearest mirror you'll ever get. Change the list with their input. Add what you missed. Cut what you misunderstood. Then here's the real secret. Immediately pick one tiny part of your plan that can still work. One fixable weakness, one edge you underestimated, and throw everything you have into making that part bulletproof. Don't try to overhaul everything. Narrow your focus instantly. When failure screams at you to quit everything, you grab the smallest foothold you can and make it unshakable. This creates momentum, the only antidote to drowning in your own mistakes. And don't confuse this with patience. This is urgent, aggressive action. You don't let the pain fester. You don't drown it in distractions. You set a brutal 24 to 48-hour deadline to complete your breakdown, get feedback, and lock on to that next move. If you drag it out, your mind will start spinning stories, excuses, and hesitation. Kill that before it starts. Finally, this all comes down to mindset. If failure destroys you, it means you're still giving power to nonsense, like how others see you, or that imagined perfect path everyone pretends exists. Screw that. The only truth that matters is what you decide after you get knocked down. Decide that failure is not the enemy, but the sharp instrument in your hands. Cold, uncomfortable, but the only thing that carves out new paths. Own it fast, break it down fast, act fast. The world isn't waiting for you to get comfortable. Neither should you. Failure is not a wall. It's the first damn step. Stop begging it to leave you alone and start treating it like the hard data it is. A tool to outsmart every limit, every lie the world feeds you, and every expectation you're meant to fit. Fight your failure the way you would fight your worst enemy, without mercy and with everything you've got. Because that's the only way to rise quicker, stronger, and smarter than anyone else who's still stuck feeling sorry for themselves. Now get to work. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and open the featured link to learn more.